Bitcoin just had an insane monthly close. We're going to be talking about that, as well as an impending golden cross for Bitcoin, what the equity markets are doing in response to the Fed's announcement today. But I want to start off with this story here. And this is just, it's heartbreaking. It's insane. I can't believe the banks are allowed to do this. And this is out of Lebanon. Lebanon's going to devalue its local fiat currency by 90%. That happened today. I mean, just... whoa, dude, like, can you imagine waking up tomorrow and the central bank's like, yeah, we're just going to devalue your currency by 90%. And look, the Lebanese pound has been getting smashed for a while now. We've covered the story many times about how the country's going through a currency crisis, how the local currency's just been plummeting, inflation's been soaring, people can't afford to buy basic goods, people have been breaking into banks to try and get their money out of the bank because the bank won't let people take their money back out. Right? Your money's lost in the bank. They don't have your money anymore. They gambled it all away. It's all gone. Forex transactions have been severely limited, capital controls heavily put in place, and now this happened. Just a massive slap in the face to your average person who's just been trying to live an honest life, working a job, selling stuff at a shop, whatever it is, trying to save their money, trying to put their kids in school, trying to do any of that stuff. Done. Crushed. You know, after the Lebanese currency was already down by 90%, they're going to devalue by another 90%. It's insanity. This is why the world needs Bitcoin. Oh, sure, I know Bitcoin's volatile. Get Bitcoin as monetary freedom. You don't have to break into the bank in order to get your Bitcoin back. You just have your Bitcoin. You don't have to ask the bank's permission to send Bitcoin or receive Bitcoin from family abroad. It just happens, right? And yeah, Bitcoin's gone down a lot in the last year, but it also goes up a lot over a longer period of time. And even Bitcoin's losses pale in comparison to what is happening in Lebanon. So crazy story. Now let's look at the charts. So the Federal Reserve came out today and they raised interest rates by 0.25%. The market liked that. As you can see, this is actually the S&P 500 here. Just have a look at that. The market did enjoy this price action today. We also saw this is the NASDAQ 100, again, doing a nice little movement. In fact, just look at this. It's very, very interesting. Daily charts, right? This is the downtrend. What do we have? We had a breakout, a test of the breakout, so a retest of that initial breakout line, followed by price action moving higher. Technically a very bullish thing to see. Basically the same thing we're seeing on the S&P 500. That's technically a bullish thing. So the market saw the Fed's announcement. They're like, we like that. This is what the Fed said they were going to do. They did it. The Fed also said that there's not many more rate hikes to go. We could see a terminal rate finding its way around 5 to 5.25% in April or May, if inflation keeps coming down, of course. If inflation starts spiking back up, all bets are off when it comes to the markets. But currently, markets have been seeming to really like what the Fed has been saying. And as we know, what happens to the S&P 500 happens to Bitcoin. Now, real quick before we break down those Bitcoin charts, if you don't have an account over on Bybit yet, you need to get yourself one. Is the best place for trading crypto. Huge range of altcoins, super popular futures markets, 0% fees on their spot markets, and up to $30,000 in deposit bonuses, which is totally crazy if you use that link down below in the description to start your account. Now, the Bitcoin monthly close is something I wanted to highlight here because that monthly candle is an absolute beauty. I mean, look at that beast right there. Boom. We ended the month up about 40%. Incredible month here for Bitcoin. And you have to ask yourself too, what's that monthly candle look more like? Does it look like something that happens after the bottom of a market cycle where we get a nice reversal coming in? And look at 2019. We started getting some nice big candles after the price bottomed out. We can see a nice big candle also in 2020 after the COVID crash. And you can go back even back to 2015 where we had a nice big fat candle after some seriously painful price action happening in August 2015. Now, one thing to point out here is that that monthly close did come in just below this key area here, which is the orange line that you see on the chart. Would have been nice to see the monthly close over that. Now, currently our new monthly candle, the price action is trading above that, so that is encouraging. Hopefully we do get a monthly close above this orange line and that we have a strong month in February where we do get some good solid price action. Now, the RSI for the monthly, pretty neutral at the moment, although trending upwards is of course good. MACD still has a lot of room to go on the monthly here as well. We're trending in the right direction, have been since October 2022. In spite of all that crazy, right, we have been trending in that direction. However, still a long way to go before we get a bullish crossover there. The weekly, though, showing some very, very interesting signs here for Bitcoin. So you can see weekly charts here. This is our third weekly candle closing above this downtrend line right here, which is definitely encouraging. We have yet to conquer the 200-week simple moving average. That is the blue line that you see right here on the chart. So there is that, right? And we are currently also coming up to a major area of price resistance, which we can see right here. So this is the price from mid-August when we had candle closing right around $24,500. The top of those wicks ended up right around $25,000, which is right where we are going to find resistance, not only from this, of course, but also where we're going to meet up with the 200-week simple moving average. So that's a really, really key area for us to cross over. As long as we keep trading under this 200-week simple moving average, it's an absolute great time to be stacking up on your Bitcoin. And look, I'll keep stacking up Bitcoin for a while here, right? But once the price moves too far, I'm probably going to ease back on the Bitcoin, go heavier back into altcoins, because that is where the real money is going to be made in the coming cycle, right? But this is very encouraging to see these positive moves that we've been witnessing here for Bitcoin. One other thing I want to point out here before we finish up is over on the daily charts. Now let's go ahead and clean that up there, get these drawings off here. We're going to take away the 200-day simple moving average and put on the 50-day EMA and 200-day EMA, because something very interesting could be about to happen here. We might be getting ready for a golden cross coming up in the next few days. So if we draw that chart up here and we continue on our current momentum, we could see a golden cross where the 50-day EMA, the orange line on the chart, crosses over the 200-day EMA, the blue line on the chart. If that happens, that is a bullish signal for the markets. That could happen February 8th, 9th, 10th, somewhere around there, depending on the price action over the coming days. Assuming, of course, that we don't get any kind of big correction, I still would not be crazily surprised by a price correction back down to like 20K, 15, 20%, 25% price correction is very normal in the Bitcoin market. I've got an order in at $20,000 Bitcoin in the eventuality that we see something like that happen. But let's look. When was the last time we had a really strong golden cross? Well, the last time was back here in August 2021, right? So we had that golden cross happen with the orange crossing over the blue. That resulted in a pretty serious price rise here. So from the time that happened until the time the market topped out, a 50% price rise. But what I think this looks even more like is actually if we go way back in time here, and we can see it looks more like a major downtrend has ended, much like we saw after the big downturn in 2019. So we can see here that from the time we had our golden cross here in early 2019 up to the top of 2019, 180% gain. So that is more likely the scenario that we're looking at here in terms of the structure of this potential golden cross, where we saw a major bottom forming with a major rally coming in afterwards. So let's keep an eye on that. If we get that crossover, and unless something very dramatic happens in the market, we should be getting that crossover in the next 2 weeks, then we could see some real fireworks kicking off in the markets in the coming months. Okay, that's it. Subscribe now. See you next time.